importantly, the people in this room who have contributed their stories and their time and parts of themselves to a project that is definitely has already begun to change medicine in our lifetimes and will continue to do so for generations further. I'd like to introduce Rob Califf, my boss, Vice Chancellor of Duke Translational Medicine Institute.
Hey, thanks. It's a real privilege and a thrill to be here today. And it's actually great to be in the state of North Carolina today. The last month I've been in Australia, Singapore, India, and Sweden. And as my wife who's here pointed out, I've been home exactly 4 days in the past month. So it's good to be back on North Carolina territory. And it's really great to see all of you. And I can tell you that around the world, people are beginning to hear about the Murdock study and the potential that it has to unravel the many issues that we're all concerned about with our health. And when I describe the Murdock study to people, of course it's a great scientific effort. That is, you're all volunteering to measure things about yourselves and to have us have access to those measurements for scientific purposes. You're donating blood and specimens so that we can look and see about how the genes and the proteins in your blood play out in terms of how healthy you are and how you feel. But when I describe it, this is the kind of research that we call participatory research. And today's event is really a great example of how that works. It used to be that we thought of science as something that scientists did in laboratories, but increasingly now with the tools that we have that exemplified by this amazing building, science is something that communities do together because they want to get better. It may be that you want to prevent a disease that you're concerned about. It may be that you'd like to have better mental health, be happier on a given day, or you'd like to be able to be more active than you currently are. And we now know the only way to understand what to do to get better and to do better is to study ourselves and learn not just about us as individuals, but about the whole community. So I want to thank all of you for participating. This is not something we're doing to you, it's something that you're doing as a community. And I want to stress that as we talk about this around the world, we're not just talking about the results of the study, but we're talking about this as an example of what people in other places can do. And just for interest, because I just came from there, one of the places that I stopped right before coming here was Calcutta. Has anyone here ever been to Calcutta? Calcutta is a place in India that has been one of the poorest places in the world. Just in the last decade, like the rest of India, it is becoming actually increasingly wealthy. And we're launching a study in Calcutta that's very similar to this one, but obviously with a very different group of people under different circumstances. But whereas in North Carolina, we've had a reasonably good standard of living for a long time, many of us are suffering from maybe too good a standard of living for a long time. In Calcutta, we have tens of thousands of people who lived in abject poverty who now, just in the last decade, can begin to afford the things that we have. And guess what? They're all putting on weight. They have a record rate of diabetes. The heart attack rates have skyrocketed in that community. And so we're going to have a very interesting opportunity as they emerge into a much better lifestyle with all the problems that we have to study that and understand. But the main point of this is that it's not just science. It's really about communities, how they interact with each other, how we interact with each other and learn together. So I hope as we begin to get more and more results, now that we're up to, about 4,000 people, right, Ashley? As we begin to get closer and closer to the 50,000 mark and the results begin to come out, these meetings will increasingly be meetings where we not only talk to each other, but we also begin to talk about what we're finding and what it means for this community and also for other communities around the world. So I want to thank you again for coming out. It's been great for us to be here, and I look forward to all the trips that I have down here. Also want to take a second just to thank David Murdock. All of you know, long history, the everything in this county with Mr. Murdock. He's really done an amazing thing here to enable us to do what we're currently doing. It's not been an easy time with the economy for any of us, and I think the fact that he's persisted and kept us going when there's so much pressure on people to pull back their financial commitments, I think is something we feel very good about. So I want to thank you for sticking with us in this project.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm just going to take a few minutes. I want to recognize the members of our Healthcare Advisory Board who are here. If you'll raise your hand. I know Dr. Russ Suda from Cabarrus Health Alliance is still here. Bob Penny from CMC Northeast was here earlier. I don't know if there are any others that are still here. I don't think they are. I think they were here earlier and then left. They play an integral role in what we do. They're local physicians in our community that we work with to help advise us on how to implement the study and represent you and what's in the best interest of your healthcare. So they're a very important part of what we do. I get the distinct pleasure of introducing Miss Anita Dolan, who is our honorary Murdock study member that's here today. We've asked her to come say a few words about what it means to her to be a part of this study and why she really sees Kannapolis as the city that's on the cutting edge of medical research. She's a very special person. I've had the honor of really getting to know her and interact with her, and so she's the perfect person to talk to us today about why it's important to join the study.
Thank you, Mr. Murdock, for offering me this opportunity to be part of the Murdock study and help revise the textbook of medicine. I was diagnosed 28 years ago as to having juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and at that time